Mark alive, what's that smell? Is that zogging runtard back again with his stupid super grots? I told him last time, I don't want him giving any of my runts funny ideas. Find them homies and get them to shoo him away. His smell always sticks around you boys, and them funny new docs is sick of replacing you.
Hello, my name's Sydney, and welcome to the Drunken Ork. But first, the news.
Welcome back to Here We Go, our regular feature looking at the greatest, greenest things coming soon to the 41st millennium. Last time we caught sight of what passes for a doctor among the beast snaggers, and this week we're sticking with the science theme by checking in with the only orc who's ever heard of behavioural psychology. Zodgrod Wortsnagga has always had some funny ideas, but by far his most outlandish is that the humble, downtrodden grot could be trained and enhanced into a productive member of orc society. It's definitely a strange theory, one for which he is mercilessly derided by his fellow greenskins, but perhaps strangest of all is that he's right. Through a combination of shiny objects, enticing fungal treats, and a few vials of the Pain Boil's special brew, Zodgrod succeeded in creating a new breed of superant, possessed of greater strength, intelligence, and frankly alarming levels of problem-solving ability. Unfortunately, his fellow Snakebites were not so open to new ideas and continued to use Zodgrod's special Gretchen as footstool, snacks, target practice, and whatever else their fancy took. This came to a head when his tribe's big mech started firing the super runs through his shock attack gun, ostensibly to get his eye in, and the irascible runtard snapped. The nearby orcs were highly impressed at how Zodgrod managed to crunch the mech down small enough to be launched through his own gun, but not impressed enough to save him from exile along with his surviving grots. Surprisingly, this turned out to be the best thing for the runtard, and now he embraces the freebooting lifestyle and sells the services of his powered-up grots to the highest bidder. Perhaps the first thing you'll notice about Zodgrod is his wild crop of hair. You might be thinking that orcs don't usually have hair, and you'd be right there, as it's actually just stapled onto his head, just in case the thing with the Gretchen didn't convince you how out there this runtard is. It's also a great callback to his original appearance all the way back in 1994, where he had a wild mohawk of epic proportions. The chief gain from selling out his surprisingly effective services also helped him pick up a custom-built grabber stick, affectionately named Grab Zapper, which is just a thing for smacking a wild-out grot back into line when they start having a few too many bright ideas. Oh, and in case we're wondering if he's the only snakebite counter arriving in the new codex, he's definitely not. After all, the squig riding side of the beast snaggers can't have a few knobs on smasher squigs leading them around, can they?
So we've got the rules of Zodgrod Wortsnagga, so we're going to have a quick look through that. Now, I've already been through the article here. The news article went through the article here. Two pronunciations of article in one sentence. Pretty good going. We've got a lovely picture there of the model in action with his huge base, dwarfing that of the Eradicators. So yeah, they've got 40mm bases, and this is massive. So in the new rules in the Ork Codex, combat will be determined on the base size. Larger the base wins. So yeah, he's awesome. Except that's probably not true. Still, good base. He has his rule for super runts. At the start of the first battle round, select one Gretchen Core unit from your army to be Zodgrod's super runts. Each time a model of that unit makes an attack, add one to their attack's hit roll. That unit can shoot while performing an action without their action failing. Well, that last bit's quite useful. Hang on. No, I don't think it is. In theory, a unit which can shoot and do an action, pretty good. But I don't think anybody's, ever had loads of success with shooting grots. I mean, even hitting on 3s instead of 4s with that +1, you're going to be wounding most things on 5s, and there's an EAP. Do you know what I mean? It's I don't think it's all that great. The +1 to hit, however, and that's in combat and shooting. Again, I'll just quickly mention that with the grots in combat, +1 to hit, hitting on 4s. Strength 2. It's worse than the shooting. But it's the core word which sort of, has got me sort of thinking, because I was excited for some sort of super run benefit on possibly mech guns, or even killer cans, grot tanks, mega grot tanks, stuff like that. We don't know if they've what's got core yet in the Ork army, but based on what I've seen in the Space Marine army, the infantry generally have core, dreadnoughts have core, and tanks don't. Even things like land speeders don't have core. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. Now, the reason why I mentioned land speeders is because I see grot tanks is, a fast attack type vehicle, which I think is the only one they might have for the Marines, that sort of land speeders. Bikes do have core, mind, but the land speeders don't. Things like Thunderfire cannon, is it? The artillery? No core there, so I don't think mech guns will get it. And because vehicles and, all sorts of vehicles don't get it, I don't think the grot tanks will either. The only ones which are a possibility are the killer cans. And I say that because dreadnoughts get it, whether it's the big Redemptor dreadnoughts or the old Contemptor or anywhere around there, they all get the core keyword. Now, they are elite choices in the Space Marine army, whereas killer cans are a heavy choice in ours. So that's not a perfect comparison, but it's something. And if killer cans can get +1 to their hit, that's going to be sweet. That hitting on 3s, and it'll make them awesome in combat as well. It's all just speculation ultimately. You know what I mean? We've got a lovely picture of some of his close-ups, but to be fair, I think we've already looked at that in his first sort of, look at him, on Warhammer Fest. But there's a nice close-up of his grabber claw anyway. And there's his grab zapper, the profile. So melee weapon, +2 strength. He's going to have strength 5, any character knob's always got one more strength than the boys. So I imagine 5. If we put it 4, I can understand that, because he's a skinny get. But he does still squash up mechs and that and stuff them into guns. So he's got something about him. Old man strength. -3 AP though, that's pretty good. That's going to give the old R-Starty something to worry about. And 2 damage just to take down the troops. It's not a bad damage stat. So yeah, that's canny. I expected it to have some sort of range profile. I don't know why. I know the Zapper is more like a cattle prod. And it's got Zapper in the name, and it's got one on the back, so it's definitely got one. But I expected it to have some sort of range profile. Not a long range weapon, short range. Maybe it's just half a dozen inches, 8 inches, maybe 12 tops. And it to have, but for it to pack quite a punch, maybe like a zap gun with a random strength, so it's a bit flighty. You can hit like a truck, or you can hit like a toy truck. Good examples there. But yeah, there's nothing being listed here. It's not to say it definitely doesn't have it. It's just I haven't listed it here. But the grabber, the grot grabber, what's it called? The grab stick, whatever it's called. That and the grot prod have their own special rules, and I haven't listed those there, which just makes us think that these might not be all of his rules that they've shown with today. There might be a few more, on top of that. Speaking of other ones, here's another one. Squig Stopper. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy monster unit that is within 6 inches of this model and roll 1d6. On a 2+, that unit is not eligible to fight this phase until after all eligible units from your army have done so. So basically it's a fight last, to be used against monster units. I like the fight last. It's something which more and more armies seem to be getting, and it's a pain in the arse to play against. I've seen. But I don't know how useful this one is, in all honesty. I think if you're fighting Astartes or something like that, you're not going to get to use it. I'm not sure of any monster units in Guard. I don't know if Ogrins or Bulgrins are counted as monster. I don't think so. Demons, yeah, fair enough. You create demons now. I've probably got a fair few monster keywords in there. Maybe some Drakari have got some of those big hulky things. The like Frankenstein-y things stitched together. Them buggers. And Tyranids, of course, have got lots of big monsters, so it'll be good for those. But, I mean, to be honest with you, unless you're pushing them up with someone like Gaz, who is going to actually clobber somebody in combat, then, I'm just not bowled over by that rule, to be fair. It's not got us frothing. There's the old pick of Zodgrod from 1994. 1994, I was 18 years old. And bang into Orks. So there we go, it's a blast from the past. Never liked that model much though. I know that's not a popular opinion, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Well, I did generally like the style of those sort of like, the 90s avocado Orks. I still paint avocado Orks because that's where I cut my teeth, that's what I know. Just going back to that picture we showed at the start, one thing which I was pleased to see, and then a little bit disappointed after I'd realised, was I thought there were some cracking paint jobs on those grots, and then realised that those grots were the grots that come in the Smarties box that we're all very, very familiar with their toes that blend into the bases and the guns that form into chests and mouths that don't quite line up, I'd hoped we were going to get some new ones. I think if we were going to get some new ones, they would have shown the new ones on that picture. But looking at them, got swaps, yeah, they're all the same ones. There's nothing new there. Again, not to say that's definitely going to be the case, but it suggests to me it's going to be the case that we'll not be getting any new grots. So yeah, the only thing left to look at is the last paragraph, which basically reads, in a nutshell, that he is not the only Snakebite character to be arriving in the new codex. He's definitely not. Basically saying that you can't have the beast snaggers with just a few knobs on Smasher Squigs. So yeah, there's another Snakebite character coming. Now this could be I keep calling him Bone Boss. I'm not sure if that's something that GW used or something that's just been coined around the community. But yeah, whether that's the Bone Boss or somebody else, I don't know. I've got a feeling it's going to be that Bone Boss. But when they say Snakebite character, I don't know if they mean he's actually going to be a character, like a named character, or if he's just going to be like an HQ, a new war boss, and that's it. It could be interesting to see anyway, though. But again, with Zodgrod, they made a big thing that he is a Snakebite, or should I say, sorry, he was a Snakebite, and now he's not, and he sells not his wares. He's not a prostitute. He sells his grots, and he's a mercenary. Christ, it's easier to say than thinking it out. He's a gun for hire. He's a grot for hire. So you'll side with anyone. He can play with any clan. Fucking hell. And obviously went to great pains to say as well that the beast snaggers, although might be suited to snakebites, can be used by any clan or can be found in any clan. So that's all good. But they're saying this is a snakebite character. Now, snakebite characters, I'm guessing, can only be used by snakebites. Or maybe they're going to be used by anyone, but they'll obviously not get any of the clan traits, which would be a stinker to lose that 6+ feel no pain. But, of course, it might change again. Make a new one. But, you know what I mean? Is he going to be snakebite only, since he is a snakebite character? That would suggest so, but it could just be I'm reading, too much in the wording. We're going to have to wait to find out. So I think that's it for now. If anything else crops up, I'll pop another vid up, so keep your eyes open for that. Just so you don't miss it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. You don't have to click like to see it, but, go on. These are solid, will you? And tickle the bell for any further notifications. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Wow, more news. Awesome, eh?
Zodgrod Wortsnagga has always had some funny ideas, but by far his most has blah 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 blah. In a few vials of the Painboy's special brew, Zodgrod succeeded in creating a brand new super runt. Fuck. If he's the only Snakebite character arriving in the new codex, he definitely not. What? He definitely not. Okay, now. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Oh! 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 Hey! Oh! Put that on there, hey! Hey! Oh! Hey! All right. Oh! Hello. Welcome to it's the news, you see. It was very good, jolly, splendid news about Zodgrod and his special stick. Have you seen his hair? He has a mohawk. It's fucking huge.
So that was the news? It's high-pitched, wasn't it? That was the news! There's dogs everywhere going, what news? What's this all about? Sorry, didn't mean to get quite so excited there. Oh, I relived a little bit of puberty. I'll check later.
Oh, and in case you were wondering... Fucking...
That'll be.